Scary second opinions. According to Reddit, number 15. Bit of a weird one, because the request for a second opinion came from an intensivist, and I was a contributor to their treatment plan. I work in poison control and had a call from a green but very astute young doctor with a middle-aged female patient presenting with a vague 36 to 48 hour history of malaise, confusion, hypoxia from hyperventilation, and hallucinations. You know, sometimes you read something and you wonder if anyone's ever spoken to another human being before, you know? I feel like you gotta try to just speak in a way or write in a way that makes you want to get punched in the face. You know what I'm talking about? Did you get a master's in that kind of shit? What's wrong with you? Act like you're delivering this as an anecdote to another physical human being. The story continues. On workup was noted to have pulmonary edema, metabolic acidosis, acute kidney injury, sinus tachy, and raised CRP and WCC, suggestion of infection but no temperature. The initial diagnosis was sepsis. That's what you know, my God. There's so many other ways to deliver this in a way that makes it seem like you're capable of speaking to people. Like, it's one thing to try to flex, you know, in a way that makes you seem smarter or more intelligible as it pertains to certain physical. This is silly though. I think this is silly. I think all of this was a bit much. I'm not sure I want to Guys, you know what today's list is going to be. It's just going to be people who went in for a basic, hey, what's wrong with me? And then the guy goes, you got a cold, go home. And then you come back and the guy's just like, you would have lost your foot if you didn't come back into me.
Foot?
Your foot. Ow, ow, ow. Foot spelled F-U-T. Foot. That's how some doctors say foot.
Readjust yourself.
So I have to readjust my balls. Is that what the whole stream needed to know, Dia?
I said just readjust yourself.
My balls.
You decided to say balls.
My balls.
All guys are gay if girls also have.
Look, I'll read number 16 then. I'm not a doctor, but I originally went into the doctor's because I was really tired, and the doctor waved it off as my doctor waved it off, but my mom insisted that I could get a complete blood count. They found that my platelets...
Hey, Cyael.
Well, first of all, I would have accepted the K if that's how you were trying to get the bot to say that name properly. But the E before the A? What the hell you got going on, my man? Well, unfortunately, I'm forced, of course, to thank you for your kind contribution. Wow.
Slap it on some toes.
Damn, Kevin hitting me with a Twitch subscription. Remember those? Goddamn. I didn't know that you had it in you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Just as I appreciate that tree fitty. Thank you. As we continue though, I'm not a doctor, but I went into the doctor's and my mom suggested that I get a complete blood count. They found that my platelets were extremely low, which resulted in them running additional tests to find that I actually had acute lymphoblastic leukemia. What the fuck? No idea to this day why my mom made me go back to get a CBC, but I am grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful too. Full of great, so much great spewing out of me. Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all gonna need a grater to shave off some of this great that's all over me. Somebody's not gonna like that, but somebody else, it's gonna be yay okay. Y'all know what a grater is? Somebody doesn't know what a grater is. Yeah, you know what? It's time for Cyael to picture a grater on screen. Here it is. Picture in your mind, if you will, a grater. Why are you doing this? I'm not looking for the nearest graders. Wait, GTA-er? No. No, you're making a fool of me. There it is. Get it? Greater? Shave off some of my greatness. Terrible.
Terrible.
Fucking terrible. So we continue up this list. All right.
This is grading.
Oh, yeah.
No, Stripes.
Who said? Stripe said that? This is grading? What, like a paper? Grading paper mage? You grading some papers? You people suck. Oh my god.
You
This guy's name is
initiated.
Paper, and he comes in after she spelled grading like that. Oh boy. Okay. So here's where we go. Continuing up the list. Wait a minute. Why did he just post a link of something? And why would he get timed out for that? Bitch, y'all know what time it is. Hit him with that higgledy hidden. Why y'all so scared? You know? Fuck these guys coming in here with that shingly wingly. All of this list stuff is just a front. This is really just a venue for me to find new opponents. Just fight in the chat. Okay, step into the ring. Putting Dia to sleep already. Number 13. I had a guy come in for a second opinion after the first place didn't bother asking for any medical history. Of course, I took his history and asked more questions as we went along. I remember telling him something felt off and that we needed to run a test. So I ordered a peripheral vision test, and when I got the test back, I was shocked by most of the... Ooh, yeah, rub it off on me. Sorry, when I got the test back, I was shocked by most of the classic tumor patterns that I'd ever seen. 2 weeks later, he was in surgery to get it removed, and a month after, this guy was back in my clinic thanking me. Totally different guy, personality was a complete 180, energetic and happy. My dude had a tumor and they was just gonna let him go home. Go home, boy. You deal with that tumor. Mr. Snow Leopard says, I thought you used it like Tinder. LOL? What, like, swiping faces? For people to fuck? I haven't met any of you assholes, and that's the way that it needs to stay. I love my subscribers to death, but we don't need to be real life buddies. And who the fuck are you, Mr. Snow Leopard? No one's ever seen you before in this chat. But you're thinking I'm using it like Tinder? Why don't you use it like, get the fuck out of here? Like, how about that with your ugly ass? Stupid bitch waking up in the morning asking yourself why you're even still here. I don't know, and neither do you. And I bet you that's what your parents are asking you too. Hey, YouTube, it's just a joke, man. Chill. It's just a joke, YouTube. Chill, man. You know, I like this to be a nice, friendly, you know, happy environment. Okay? I don't take kindly to insinuations that I'm using this platform for some sort of sex, what's the word? What would I call Tinder? I'd call it like a sex, Pokemon card game. Yeah. Right? No, Pokemon and like Magic the Gathering, there's a lot of thought that goes into that. What's like a card game with like the least amount of thought? Uno? Sexual Uno? Yeah.
Ruin Uno for me.
What do you mean?
Uno's fun. Why you gotta
Sex is fun when you're basic. You know? For me, sex is business. No pleasure. No pleasure, only business. And I have my lab coat on and I say, I do what must be done for the forwarding of humankind. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Shit. Lilium Luna says, this thread reminds me of when I went into the hospital for stomach pain and came out being told that I had a tumor the size of my fist. That says fist. The size of my fist. Just chilling on my liver. Life is weird like that. Did you get that removed, Lilium Luna?
I would hope so, especially since they're still here.
Snow Leopard is dead. Well, I guess he should have stayed where it was cold. And not ice cold like it is around here. You know what I'm talking
That
about?
makes sense. Also, I like how she put the little crabs.
Talking about hypothermia around here, boy. Whoosh. Flash frozen. Mrs. Snow Leopard says, Jesus. Oh my God. Cody says I'm a sexual martyr. Yeah, they'll remember my name, I gave for the good of humanity, not of myself. I do what must be done, I'm taking one for the team being the human race. Number 12 on the list of, man, I went into the doctor again and the other doctor was like, what? And number 12 reads, 22-year-old guy came in after seeing his primary physician at another hospital. His mom was a patient and asked if I could see him. I am an internal medical doctor. He had told the doctor that he had a headache. I did a usual full review of his symptoms since he was new, and he also marked his left testicle having a lump. I did an exam, and he had hard, small lumps on a testicle. Knew right away that he likely had metastatic testicular cancer. One stat brain scan, testicular ultrasound later confirmed it. I asked him if told other doctor about the lump, and he said yes, but the other doctor told him it was normal. What a scumbag.
That man could have lost one.
So fellows, if you have a lump on your testicle, ask for the ultrasound and don't be embarrassed to bring it up. If you have a lump on your testicle, men, ask for an ultrasound. Shit, man, this is really getting scary, because the shitty part about cancer is it just seems to be knocking out way too many people. Way too many people. Jesus.
Oh, they didn't.
Yeah, Lilium says that it was never removed because it was not cancerous. They didn't want to mess with my liver because they would also have to remove part of my liver to remove the tumor. It's just there now. Well, I hope there is no complications that arise and that things all work out for you in a big way. I apologize. Prelude says, Jesus, work is crazy, trying my best. Sup, Mr. Davis and Dia. I wish you all strength and focus. And I don't know, man. I hope that you can just maintain the, necessary resolve or restraint, I should say, to make it through many of your days dealing with the fuck bags and weirdos and people who are so involved in themselves that they can't imagine how they're being or how they're coming off. And, there's a lot of directionless kind of cruelty in the world. People being mean, not knowing they're mean, people ignoring, not realizing they're ignoring, blah, blah, blah. Just want you to, I don't know. A DJ said, Ayo Cyael, a doctor recommended not to play Destiny. Y'all gotta remind me that game exists, man. The funniest thing about Destiny is that it's going to come out again, right? Destiny 3 is gonna happen. And it's gonna convince a lot of people to pick that trash up. Thank God my, what I would call my gaming fans have died down enough to where they're not desperate to see me play certain things anymore, so I know that nobody's going to be trying to buy that game for me. But I think it's just amusing, because Destiny 1 comes out and it fools us all, because we thought it was going to be Halo dope, It screws up and we're just like, okay, we learned our lesson, we're not going to do it again. For some reason, some of those cucks were like, hey, let's get Destiny 2. And then it ruined it again. So it's going to happen again and some people are going to buy it? It's just like the comedy of all comedies. To be honest, I guess somehow Destiny's not as bad as it could be, because you look at train wrecks like Fallout and worse abortions like Anthem, and you're just like, well, damn, that's really the definition of honk honk right there, dude. We thought it was bad, but it's not like it's honk honk bad. You know what I'm talking about? Wow. So, hey, I just can't wait till it happens again. It's going to be amusing. Trying to see people justify that. Look at Stripes out here talking about play Bob Eyes You. I'm so tired. Number 22, -10, -1 is 11. Eye doctor here. I had a patient that I saw several months before. I need to get new glasses. That I saw several months before they came in for their visibility visit, but less than a year, which often means something could be wrong. In this case, as it turns out, nothing was wrong with her by way of complaints. She was just wanting to get an update before getting some new glasses. Oh my god. We decided to just run the regular gamut of tests anyway, just because, might as well. She was there. She was a 50-year-old woman, fairly normal exam, perfect vision. Retina showed healthy, but sometimes something about her pupils really bothered me. So this was before I dilated, and we were chatting about it, and I asked her if she banged her head or anything weird, and she's like, nah. But suddenly she reveals this crazy history of an old meningioma. I don't know that word. No, there is no shame in admitting that. I know a lot of words, and I can assume how most words are pronounced. Meningioma? Meningioma.
Medical.
Meningioma.
Meningioma.
Meningioma? That's a bit much. Pop, 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 pop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5-syllable word? Meningioma. Are you joking? Fuck that word. Are you sure? The internet sure.
Don't question the medical shit.
Meningioma. Stupid. And I never want to see it again. Look, suddenly she reveals this crazy history of old meningioma, which is a type of tumorous brain growth she had removed a few years ago. She had decided to omit this from her history with us, as she didn't feel it was important, but went to put in the charts anyway. Turns out she got a CT done 2 weeks prior to her exam, and she turns up completely normal. I tell her she should tell her doctor about this, just to cover the bases. Fast forward, the patient shows up to my office ecstatic to tell me that my examination revealed that her tumor had returned with an incredible vengeance. Tumor 2, the reckoning. She had no idea and was totally asymptomatic, and the CT that she had prior to me showed that she was very literally the size of a speck of dust, which the radiologist dismissed as an artifact. Was this a video game? On her return to the doctor, they decided to rerun the CT to cover their bases and found a quarter-sized tumor. That bitch growing. Within 2 weeks, the tumor went from the size of a speck of dust to a quarter. She was rushed into the emergency surgery as the tumor was growing super fast and was close to a blood vessel, which could cause a massive stroke. She had it removed that day and returned to the doctor and returned to me after recovery to tell me that she discovered, or tell me what had gotten discovered as a result of my testing. She is now a long-time regular patient, and I have been seeing her for almost 10 years. What really sucks about all of this shit, man, is just how miraculous the human body is and how easy it is for anything to go wrong and fuck up our, internal mechanisms that many of which are, independent of us actually having to try anything. It ain't like farting or eating or shit like that.
But it's so easy for it to just go horribly wrong.
I mean, yeah, my point is we pull a muscle doing whatever we do on a daily basis. We're pushing too hard on the toilet or, straining ourselves lifting weights or, you know what I mean? We cough too hard, we sneeze or something crazy, we're stretching and we pull something. That's shit that we can cause. But I like to just think that, respiratory shit that is independent of us, just not going right, something with the arteries, something with the veins that cause this catastrophic failure within the body. It's super simple, it's super easy. I'm sure the government has figured out some kind of gangster ass weapon. I'm sure there's a black project where it's a weapon that can just stop a motherfucker. Maybe with sound or lasers.
I mean, definitely with sound.
I like to believe that if I had the right type of microwave weapon that I could refine into some sort of like beam or cone ejection that I could either superheat the insides of somebody's body or really just cause failure if I like shot it at a guy. I'm sure there are tons of weapons that could never be considered legal that have, you know, been developed by people that are working on operations with an infinite budget that we aren't going to hear about, because why? But hey, man, it can just stop a motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's so easy. We're so fleshy and jokes. We're jokes. The carbon-based life form model is a pretty shit model. You know, it's just like we can't even be anywhere where it's too hot or too cold. So the idea that maybe one portion of our body is just brought to a certain holy crap, man, for real. Let's not get into it. Because it's so easy, you know? And I like to think that even if, like, let's say I develop something that not even through temperature, but has the ability to maybe constrict the capacity for flow in a certain portion of my body, whether it's the limbs or, I know I'm getting off the point here, forgive me. Of course, why am I jumping to weapons? And, you know, I'm just saying like if the government decided and maybe they parked outside in a car and was like, this guy's getting on my nerves, you know what I mean? You gotta take care of this guy, you know? And then they just beam some shit into you, make it seem like you just had some kind of on the spot illness. Oh no, you know, his body gave out, now he's dead. That shit happens to everybody. Shit happens to anybody. Whatever. Grognak says also there's 3D radiation for cancer therapy now. It's been promising, from what I remember hearing. Well, here's hoping everybody who gets afflicted. Here's the funny thing, guys. I don't even think treatment is the problem, you know? For some people, treatment is the problem. For most people, recognizing what the issue is before it's too late is the problem, you know? Think about the last time you went to the doctor. And if you do go to the doctor, you're just talking to another guy that has the ability to go, man, it's whatever. Get the hell out of here. You didn't really get like a conclusive test. You didn't get some like hot shot bing bong scan through your body and looking for foreign shit tests. You know what I'm talking about? Or when's the last time you're rolling in, you know, demanding like scans, demanding x-rays? You know what I mean? Shit. How can we know? How can we know? By the time we know, it's too late. We didn't even get to the question of whether or not you can afford this or afford that. Or hopefully they just give it to you and you pay it off for the rest of your fucking life. You know what I'm talking about? Rest of what life? Man. Here we go. Up this list. Number 10. ER nurse here. I had a lady in for some simple pneumonia. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't that big a deal. Medical advances, y'all. Her 13-year-old son was getting bored, so I showed him some of the equipment. I connected a simple heart monitor to him and discovered that he was in a complete heart block. I printed a strip and showed it to the doctor. We suddenly and unexpectedly got a cardiac patient. This is some Grey's Anatomy shit? How many people are walking around with heart block?
Who knows?
Number 9. Can I go ahead and speak on behalf of my doctor? I was 19 years old at the time. I'm 33 now, and I felt sick for around a week. I had flu-like symptoms. I didn't want to eat. Just felt bad all over. One day at work, I feel a very uncomfortable cramp/tear in my abdomen. So I go to one of those 24-hour clinics, and at this point I'm slumped over, I can't stand up straight, with insane amounts of pain, just generally uncomfortable. I'm hating life at this point. After a few hours of this at the clinic, they say, "You probably have kidney stones, man. Go home, drink some fluid, sleep it off." This seemed fine to me. I was ready to go home and listen to the doctor, all good. But my girlfriend at the time, didn't last much longer than that, relevant information, wasn't a fan of the diagnosis and drove me to the ER. This bitch saved your life. Against my wishes, of course, and after a few minutes in the ER, they determined that my appendix has ruptured and I'm going septic. Apparently, I was pretty lucky to not have died, though I did pick up bacterial pneumonia while in the hospital, so the recovery kinda sucked. Now I have a crazy 6 to 7 inch scar. Who dat?
UWU.
Monster Mander plays.
It's been a while.
What do you mean it's been a while? Is that Amanda?
It's someone else.
I think that's Amanda. The same Amanda who donates on DLive? It's not?
Wait, I'm confused.
Say something in the stream chat. I really that's a cute little face they used.
I thought you meant like the Amanda that you have here.
What?
I thought you meant the Amanda that you have here on YouTube. Thought you were
Well, I
talking
only
about
know one Amanda. Let's not. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate you. You're helping me in a pretty critical time here. You're amazing. Well, I wasn't a fan of this diagnosis, or the girlfriend wasn't, so she drove me and I got septic shock, but I still recovered and I'm alive. Now I have a crazy 6 to 7 inch scar on my belly to remind me to not avoid hospitals when I'm sick. When you don't feel well, man, and you know something's wrong, go to the hospital. I knew it was her. She said it were me. So cute. So kawaii. Cuz. Number 8. I had a patient come in for therapy after his PCM yelled at him for being a hypochondriac and saying that his symptoms were all in his head and that he was just trying to fish for disability. Wow. His symptoms were pretty obviously neurological, so I referred him to get an MRI. And to my shock, we only ever had x-rays, or he only ever had x-rays. Sadly, I had to tell the 19-year-old man that he had multiple sclerosis. With great satisfaction, I got to tell the PCM that he done goofed, and that I would be talking to our mutual chief clinical services about the incident. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Jesus Christ. What a bummer this all is. This whole list is a bummer, but I guess it's a hardcore reaffirmation, a reminder that we all need to try our best to not only seek out medical help when shit feels wrong with us and hope to God that it ain't too late, but more importantly, to attempt to be firm enough to try to get
diagnosed correctly.
No, I mean like the right kind of, let's say, procedure or scan to make it so that what is definitely wrong with us comes to light and that we're not dismissed. Because the truth of this list, the honest and cold truth of this list is, especially in America, you can barely afford a first opinion. Who the fuck are you going to go to for a second opinion? You know what I mean? Like, some people are in debt because they tried to make it through school. Stupid. Yo, bitch ass, you thought you could get an education in this bitch? For a piece of paper that's maybe gonna get you, like, what, $5 more an hour? If you're lucky, 15. But at the end of the year, what you're making is not pretty, you know what I mean? You could have just doubled down and did a little extra work at that same kind of bullshit job to make as much as you would have. That's the sick part, dude. That's the sick part about your life. So, you tried to go through school, you got a shitload of debt. Now you're sick. And you need to go in to try to afford, to have yourself looked at if things go wrong. And then you pull out a card when it's like a Monopoly card. It's a figurative card, guys. When they send you out and say, there's nothing wrong with you, but you know something is wrong with you. So you pull out a figurative card and it says, do you want to double your debt? Go to another person and gamble on them saying the same thing to you. I guess peace of mind is something that you will genuinely have to pay for, but holy shit. Grognak says, dude, my mom had cancer 4 times over the course of like 5 years. Last time she did, she was supposed to have a 5% chance of living. Incredibly lucky to still have her here. Happy that she's healthy 10 years on. I'm glad that y'all found what it took to make that happen, because I'm sure there was a lot of pushback from the medical people involved, and I'm sure that everybody became well aware of what the phrase deductible means. So, number 7, not a doctor, but I heard my son's doctor say this. I took him to the ER late one night because of the coughing and the high fever. He took an x-ray, gave him ibuprofen, and told us that he was fine. Doctor showed me the x-rays to prove it, and gave me a dirty look when I asked what the dark spots were. I told her she was an idiot and took him to urgent care 4 hours later. The doctor that saw him immediately diagnosed him with pneumonia and confirmed with x-rays. I flat out refused to pay for the ER visit and told them that if they persisted with collections, I would push their incompetence. They never called again. Forgive me if you've lost me for a moment here, stream. What I want is for us all to be educated. I want every last one of us to be educated. I think that people take for granted, myself included, I'm not claiming to be above anybody. I think people take for granted that there are things that are available at our fingertips at a moment's notice that weren't available to our grandparents. And that times have changed so profoundly that, not to claim that our grandparents were banging rocks together and, measuring sticks or something. But times have changed so incredibly, hockey puck style, development-wise, that the things that it would take them years to sit down and learn in school, we can have illustrated to us and understand better in a 10-minute YouTube video than it then was articulated to them in a comprehensive way for years during their life. What I would like is for us to reach a point where not that we could do a job better than a doctor, but we could, be made aware of what things look like, via an x-ray, how things feel, what to look out for, so that this kind of negligence, my dude, will hopefully be avoided, because this sucks. The idea that somebody's just, because doctors make accidents, they make mistakes just like anybody else. They're people, and many of them are overworked or without sleep, and they're going to screw up, and it's going to cost some lives, That's a rite of passage. In the same way that a cop is going to do something dirty at some point, a fucking doctor's going to make a mistake that costs somebody their life. Easy in their lifetime, easy in their career. I don't know if what I'm suggesting, or I guess just musing on, like just having an idea, is that we all somehow find a way to read x-rays well and familiarize ourselves with what at least the bad things are to look out for and to see. But it's like, damn, well, Cyael, you want body cameras on the policemen to get them to stop being a piece of crap. Do you want body cams on doctors so that, all of that's uploaded and that other people can scrutinize their shit and make sure that they're not trying to get away with things? Because this is such a terrible example of what was clearly a guy trying to, broom a bitch out the door when something was legitimately wrong with this little bastard. Sometimes things will actually be okay. So it's like, can you blame him? Because sometimes things will be okay. And, I feel like with a policeman, if we're talking about crooked cops, some of them are being crooked in a way that's super self-serving. Yeah, if shit goes wrong, the whole department's gonna try to make sure that evidence disappears. They're gonna have each other's back and shit like that. But some of the doctors that are doing what they're doing, they're not just doing it for themselves. They're like doing it for their institution. You know? It's whack. I don't even want to think about it. Momster says the power's out. The stream isn't working for me. Why is her power out?
Because she's in tornado watch right now.
Why is she living out there?
Look, not everybody can choose where they can live.
What? Y'all living on Tornado Alley and that's just what's up, you know?
Yup.
Okay. Alright. You know. Could you imagine if I was like in Alaska and I was like, guys, the cold broke in again? And you hear the cold in the back like, where's the money? I'm kidding. Man, I'm gonna have to move like in a week. It's gonna be scary, guys. Wish me luck. Hope they give me that U-Haul. I got the money.
Jesus has a conspiracy for you.
Jesus says doctors keep us sick because money. It's not that simple. I think doctors are not who you're thinking of, but there is somebody, there is a group that I will not mention here, because I am scared of them, that may be keeping you sick enough to not mobilize, all right, to keep you buying that shit. In the same way that like the phones are trying to convince y'all to buy them every fucking year, because give it a while and your phone's just not gonna work the way it used to. God, it's so slow all of a sudden. My battery life, I gotta buy another one. Oh, I'm coming down with that bing bong. Need some of that medication. Unbelievable. Number 6, okay? I'm trying to get back to my anime so I can just forget the world. Tina and just subscribed. Is this like improv? Tina and the 5-footed Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus had 5 feet, and Tina decided he was going to call her Feetsy. That's bad. Ugh. Come up with a better name for a 5-footed Stegosaurus for me, and then, you know, I'll be ashamed. Number 6. I'm not a doctor, but I'm glad that my parents took me in for a second opinion when I was complaining about a bad headache when I was 15 years old. How's that for a sentence? I left school one day, went to the hospital for a bad headache, and the doctor said, no more it's just a virus, and that I should just rest and take some medication. So I went home, I laid down, took some Advil, and carried on with my night. At around 1 a.m., I am screaming on the floor. My parents took me to a different hospital. They ran tests and eventually did a spinal tap and discovered a ton of white blood cells. It turns out I had bacterial meningitis, homie. Now that's a word I can get down on. Meningitis. 4 syllables. Not like meningioma. Meningioma. What about women in gioma?
There's 2 types of meningitis, and one of them you can actually give to someone else, and the other one is just for you.
I don't want to share my meningitis. I don't want to share any meningitis.
Yeah.
Everybody, they can have it. Stegogenesis. Get it? Stegogenesis. That's pretty good. Damn. Stega sourpuss. I don't know, man. You found it. Stegogenesis. That's pretty good. Smegosaurus sex. I'm almost mad that she doesn't have to answer for that right now. Yeah. Okay. Grognak says, word, my little brother almost died from the kind of meningitis that doesn't spread. How do you even get that? You know? I'm surprised you didn't go cook the chicken while I was doing this. Dinkles, hashtag Banjo-Kazooie. I'm so sick of that meme. And people don't even understand it's a meme. Do ya?
What?
You, what?
What did it say?
It said Banjo-Kazooie for Smash.
Oh.
And I have, you know, you've seen a bunch of that, like
Yeah.
on 4chan and shit, but I'm trying to let you know that that's a meme that spiraled out of control. Oh my god. It actually hurts me to fucking think about, man. Pussy ass Banjo Kazooie in this dead ass fucking title. Alright, guys. Number 5. I am a semi-retired physician, and I don't believe in second opinions. I much prefer 2 first opinions. There's your downvote. Doesn't matter. People love it. People love that comment.
Time for you to look for another one to replace that shit.
Is that what people do? Is that what I've been doing in the past? I've lost my way. I've grown tired of this. Did you know that there's a game called Rim World? I think that sounds hilarious. Why y'all out here posting pictures of Pro Jared?
The silhouette of your foot looks so cute and dainty.
Shut up.
It does.
I want to know if people have been abstaining from talking to girls. Okay? I know you guys have stopped caring about cooties. I knew that if I went to V right now, that I would find a post about Banjo-Kazooie and Smash. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. And the real joke, if you will, is that if you force a meme enough times, people will make that shit work. This shit isn't funny to me. It's so stupid. But I'm not here to browse V or talk about World of Warcraft Classic, because I won't have the time to play it because I'll be busy trying to patch the holes in the boat that is my life. Okay? Which I got time for World of Warcraft Classic. True Silver Wolf says it's like Sans Undertale for Smash Smash meme. Look, man, I've said this to y'all before, and I'll say it one time again, okay? I'm not even joking. I made like a big fancy let me find that picture again, and I'm gonna bring it up right now if we want to talk about Smash. And I'll say it again, if we were going with like popular relevant titles, let me save this so that it's always on deck. But on top of that, let me show you. This is an image that I made. All right, I made it. And y'all see the top of it right there. We may not like it, but these are what I consider the relevant titles up there. Put Dark Souls guy in there. People love that shit. Okay? Cuphead, Sans, Steve of Minecraft, and Jonesy from Pussy Ass Fortnite. These are the relevant picks for douches to put in the freaking thing. Now, you know, don't worry about all of this stuff down here. These are some joke entries, okay? That's who I want, though. I want them to put the chiefies. The Ming Mong chiefies. Okay. Somebody said quite the pivot. Why is it a pivot, man? I'm just saying. I know I'm crazy about Katamari Damacy. You know I'm crazy about Portal. So I'd love to see them in there, but I'm living in the real world, so I know better than to expect a nonsense like that. But you see the shit at the top? I believe in my heart these are the relevant titles, and if they wanted to blow the mind of the world, they would put any of them in there. I don't see Cuphead so much happening, but it's kind of likely since they're, you know, coming out on Switch and shit. You know, Sans would, you know, come Come on.
That's also on Switch.
Stripes out here saying this ain't it, Chief. Why, Stripes? Microsoft is going really in on this, like, cooperating with Switch shit. That was a big in-your-face moment when PlayStation didn't want to play with the cross-platform shit. And everybody was giving them shit. And now we can play cross-platform on Fortnite. Whatever.
Oh, someone explained viral meningitis and bacterial meningitis. And viral meningitis is fucking scary.
It's all scary. All we can do is pray from day to day that we don't get ill or just stroke out in the middle of the night, and it can happen to anybody. And I need to get in better shape. That's the only... Jesus Christ, what kind of story is this? You fucking come here for this? Jesus Christ. Oh God. Where do I start? I literally just admitted this lady to the ICU. Been coughing for ages, 60-pound weight loss, smoker for 50 years. Now she can't breathe, and I got a CT 6-centimeter mass that looks very suspicious for lung cancer. The doctors of 4 years throughout this just gave her vitamin D and E, even though she was losing massive amounts of weight and coughing up blood. Can you imagine? She needs just some more vitamins. Here you go. Another guy who came in looking pale as a ghost. Chief complaint was fatigue. One lab test later found out that this hemoglobin was 4, barely on the cusp of survival. Seems like he had an iron deficiency anemia for years, and the doctor just gave him some iron. He got better, but no one looked into why he got it. He died 4 months later from metastatic colon cancer. This is a bit scary. Last month was about to take a long trip across the Pacific. 1 hour on the flight, they ask for a doctor, so I volunteer myself. I see this lady literally gasping for air, like waving her hands in the air because she can't breathe. Look through the meds. She's obviously asthmatic. I listen to her lungs. There's faint wheezing, but no air movement at all. I later grounded that plane because there was another 16 hours to go, and she was on the verge of being intubated. Later, I get more story from her family member. Apparently, she wasn't able to sleep well for the past 2 weeks. The doctor just gave her sleeping medication, more and more of it. What an asshole. I told her, and then told her that flying was no problem. Wow. I asked the family why couldn't she sleep. It is because she wakes up in the middle of the night gasping for air. Classic sign of an uncontrolled asthma. They're like, yes, how did you know? Sleeping meds probably among the worst things that you could have gotten, and almost killed the patient by saying that she could fly. Somebody named I just subscribe. Amazing.
And
Oh, I did say guitar. It became the...
Struggling sucks,
What
man.
the fuck?
Hope this helps.
Is that 125? Damn. Damn guitar. Oh, guitar sling. How do I live without you? How do I live without you? You're gonna give me an asthma attack, guitar sling. I have to adjust my seating. Why are you doing this to me? Oh my god, I almost dropped the mic too. Jesus. Guitar Slinger just dropped a mic with that donation. Guitar Slinger, I have to hit you with this clap like I don't even know how many, 3 times. Guitar Slinger, you're amazing. Thank you for that donation. You also effortlessly you destroyed that goal that we had. And now Guitar Slinger's also the stream boss, you know? So not only does he get golf claps, but we're gonna go ahead and wake up Rhea in case she's here with a little bit of that whip crack. Guitar Slinger, chosen, based, Gislar Tinger. Thank you. Wow.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Guitar Slinger.
Wait, what happened?
They said my mother-in-law and my mom were diagnosed with cancer 2 weeks apart last year at this time. My mother-in-law passed in January and my mom beat her cancer.
Holy shit. Like, I'm very sorry to hear that, man. That's about as, awful as what happened with my family earlier in the year. And to know that mom's trying to get, at me now is trying and scary. But hey, that's life. We got to do what we need to do so that everything will make sense moving forward. You're making this easier on me, and I appreciate you for that. But sometimes we just got to worry about where the hell the strength is coming from for us to be able to make it, because holy shit, even when things aren't as hard as they could be, or nowhere near as hard as they could be, you still got to find the energy. And I appreciate you for your hardcore contribution, man. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you had the strength and inspiration for us all, Guitar Slinger. Thank you for slinging it. Sling it on some toast. You know what I'm talking about? Honk, honk. I've been recording a lot of dumb videos with my Yoda puppet, and I'm wondering if I should just like throw those at the channel as like a compilation. But they're all pretty dumb, and some are actually pretty racy because I'm messing with Dia. So I don't know if they're okay. Remember this one in the living room where she comes by and I'm just like, God damn, and all this shit? It's so stupid. It is so stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, to continue this entry, forgive me. One says people who got diagnosed with bronchitis when they had heart failure and were literally drowning in fluid. Jesus. Oh God, this is like starting to hurt me. There are doctors who give antibiotics and steroids for everything, especially when they have no idea what's going on. Maybe I'm biased because I work at an academic center, so I see all the cases who get referred in because they're too sick or no one can figure them out, but at least a few times a week, I'm like, wow, this person could have been saved or not end up this way if someone cared enough earlier on. Okay, this is like chilling, This is like an adult creepypasta. This is an adult creepypasta here. Legit. I just need to get out of here, Can't we look at some animals or some people freaking out? We'll get to the end of the list and then we'll do that. Why are there so many windows open? And they're all probably stupid. What's this? Minority Report. I was bringing this up while I was explaining to Dia who Philip K. Dick is, because apparently he inspired Minority Report, just as he inspired Blade Runner. What a wonderful man. So let me close this. Call of Duty canceled. Another stupid video by Stupid Beard Man. Idiot. What's this? The infographic show. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll put that on. It's like background later.
Guitar Slinger is asking where he can put his GIF.
Where do you can do it in the Discord, or if you can just describe it from me, I'll Google it right now. 2018 most used background music for YouTube. Oh yeah, I need this for an upcoming meme video. I need to know what the most, okay, we got Homer. Videos, whatever happened to High Guardian Spice? Oh yeah, that's this SJW cartoon that never ended up coming out that I wanted to learn about. I was looking at patterns for Animal Crossing. We're talking about 1984 by George Orwell earlier to tell Dia what it was about. A video reply to Christian Weston Chandler. This is probably like a cursed video.
Will you call me names, including dumbass? I recorded this again because
not exactly cursed, but scary to say the least. What kind of, we got the man. You remember those? What year is this? Do you remember these kind of pillows? They were everywhere. They were like these emoji pillows. Many of them made noise. My dude's got like energy Pokemon cards, what seemed to be laminated and put up on a wall behind him. I don't know where to begin with this video. You can tell it's recorded with a webcam from the olden days, from the early days of the internet. You remember the Globe webcam? Yo, you remember the Globe webcam cameras?
No, I don't even.
They were shaped like a ball and they just had an eye. Yo, that's how all webcams used to be. And you can tell that this is one of those because the frame rates on the old webcams were like 2, 3, 7 frames a second. Old webcams were not playing around. Let me just find a picture of an old webcam for you. I am such an old man. That's what they used to look like, Dia. Right there. I had one of these, a Logitech webcam. We have a Logitech webcam right now. If I had another one, then we'd be on it all the time. But the problem is, it feels like 50 years. It couldn't have been more than 10. It couldn't have been more than 10 years ago. My God.
To be honest with you, I never had one. I would see them. I think I either saw them in a show or in a movie, and that's as much as I've ever seen those webcams.
It's funny watching old footage, Dia, because you realize this was the way it was. I used to be in web chats with MSN honeys. I remember this one chick named Tasha. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The boobs, Dia.
Talking about boobs, Gunslinger said that we need a big bouncy titty gif.
Oh my gosh. Gunslinger wants a big bouncy titty gif. Find one where it's not exposing anything. Throw that at the Discord. Or just tell me, because I can't Google that on stream. You trying to get me in trouble? I know what I'd find.
You could do it off.
I'll do what after? Fine.
No. I'm saying you can do that in another window. And then just put it on there without people seeing.
Uh-huh. Here's one of the newer alien ones in case you guys don't follow shit. It's a dude with a tray. And then one of the aliens says, "Do you want to ingest with us?" And the other alien goes, "Thank you, I am unknown in this region." One of the aliens says, "Is there a syllable sequence beings use to address you?" And then he says, "Yes, but you may find it difficult to pronounce." And one of them says, "Then we will just practice until we can." Oh. Did we you practice to the good? Bleh, 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 bleh. Okay, here we are, number 3. Okay. I had seen probably 5 instances of my other doctor told me I was fine, but then there were melanomas. I'm not sure what a melanoma is. Here's hoping that Googling it won't bring up any pictures. Melanoma is a form of skin cancer. That's all I need to read. A lot of times people don't want a full skin exam. There are lots of perfectly sane reasons for this: time, perceived cost, history of personal trauma. However, I routinely find cancers people don't know that they have. Keep in mind, if you see a dermatologist for acne and they recommend that you get it, get in a gown. Meaning, get the test if your dermatologist recommends it. That's so sad. It's so sad how, people aren't okay. But if they're not scared, then, they're fearful of the cost. Sorry, I felt like I was going to sneeze for a hot second. She was about to get wild. Did my chat just vanish, you son of a bitch? I need that chat, you son of a bitch. Give me the chat back. Thief. It's also on top chat. Well, if it isn't Guitar Slinger. Here it is. Ooh, I'm coming in an oatmeal bowl. Ooh, I'm coming. Sandoval's weird channel says, so I usually watch Cyael videos while studying. It's like background noise instead of music. When do y'all listen to him? Amanda says, I listen to him in the shower. I just can't stop squeezing myself while I'm kidding. She says, proud of you, Guitar Slinger. Grockneck says, do you think it's like shame for having a problem with themselves? No, dude, it's just, it's just like, it's not shame. What it is discomfort. Like, I like to think if I had $1 million, I still, if I had an issue at home, might wait it out. And sometimes that waiting out is the death sentence. Because even by the time it is figured out that something is wrong, you know, it's not something that can really be remedied. It's the type of thing that needed to be prevented. A lot of that's killing people. Scary to think. But let's get out of this bummer of a list, man. This is shitty shit to think about. Oh boy. Can I just do one? I don't want to listen. I don't want to skip, but you know. All right. Number 2, I'm an emergency medical doctor in the Midwest in the USA. The patient was transferred from rural nowhere to our tertiary care facility, which is a big hospital with every specialist. Call was really bad in quality, but the transferring physician described a 21-year-old man that had rapid heart rate and breathing rate, low blood pressure, low oxygen, confusion, and a severe opacification on his chest x-ray on the right side, diagnosed pneumonia. He gave him a ton of fluids, started antibiotics, put him on a ventilator, but wasn't getting any better, and wanted to send him to us. Sure, send away. An hour later, the gentleman arrives. He looks young, fit, and not the type to drop dead from pneumonia. We roll him onto our stretcher and find a huge stab wound in his back. The x-ray finding was his entire right chest full of blood. He put a tube in, gave him some blood back, and he had to go for surgery to fix the bleeding. Lesson: look at your patient. I don't know what's wrong with him. Get him out of here. Just take him to the morgue. It's less stops. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Who's that guy? Who was that voice, Cyael? Somebody says yet another morbid Monty Python sketch in the thread. We've done all we can do with this patient, Dr. Sky Skimmer, and he just isn't responding. He has a big hole in his back and pneumonia, which we treated with a course of antibiotics. Sorry, he wasn't what again? He has what again? A big hole in his back and pneumonia that you treated with antibiotics. I mean, obviously, did you apply a bandage? Respectfully, Dr. Sky Skimmer, do not bandage the lungs. Has been a point of emphasis for some time. Tell me, how have you been keeping up with the literature? Number 1, okay? I can't count how many times I hear I was told it was a headache, but I just wanted to come in and have it looked at in case it was something else. Of course, those are patients that are the nicest and are profusely apologizing for wasting our time, and of course, those are the patients that have a brain tumor show up in their CT scans. You've got a brain tumor, you love the brain tumor, you love to boogie. I apologize for wasting your time. Yes. Every time you have a fucking headache, bitch, do you know you got a tumor? Oh, I was trying to get her to talk again so I could just continue singing. But she's like, I'm not gonna do it. And then she had like her her Native American headdress on, and she was like, long boob. That's your Native American name. Come up with a better Indian name for Dia. Long boob. Sorry, because I was grabbing your pigtails and I was like, long. And then boob. Hi, boob. Lillian Luma says, how do you not know a person has been stabbed? Bruh? Okay. So does the boob in the Discord? I mean, boob is it is a boob too. Is the GIF in the Discord? Yeah. Have you guys sorted that out? Am I supposed to look for it? Am I supposed to look for it? I don't see anything in the Discord. So I'm supposed to look for it. supposed to be me? It's supposed to be me. Is that what Guitar Slinger wants? Jesus. I'm going to public freakout so we can forget our time here. I heard that a bunch of reckless kids stole a goddamn bus. And that's unfortunate. You know, pathetic. And indeed. Badass kids stole a school bus on the last day of school. Is it worth it? Guitar Slinger says it's for you, Cyael. But wait, where is it? Lizzie says thanks for always being here for me, Cyael. I try to be consistent and have at least enough to always put on so that people can just have it on in the background and have it not be something that they've technically heard before. But I don't know. I'm really trying to figure out what to do with this GIF. You know? Whoa. Off-duty Las Vegas street security sergeant, high and drunk, performs unlawful arrest on another off-duty officer and breaks arm? Bruh, what are you doing? An off-duty Las Vegas street security guy. What is a street security sergeant? Is that a real thing?
No, performs an unlawful arrest on another off-duty officer.
You're breaking. What are you doing? We don't need to see this. What?
So the person that's doing the arresting is high and drunk. Lady
tries to stop cops from arresting her man. That's my man. Hadouken. That's not that move. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Bruh. I wouldn't get involved, Dia. I would not get involved.
Toto, prelude if you could, because I know he's not that on your shirt.
Who threw that at Thanos?
Thanos?
It's a alternate ending.
Alternate?
Alternate with Tigger and Nemo.